All right. How is everyone doing today? So, here we are, running the Messenger 100%. My name is Miinfin. I'll be taking y'all through this. So, for those who don't know, I do tend to commentate a lot of the Messenger races that have been going on. I do hold a lot of good times in this. Unfortunately, I didn't make it too far in that, but I get to show y'all the full game this time instead of just 8-bit. Joining me today on commentary, because I can't commentate and play at the same time, is going to be Fruity Waffles, which y'all just heard in the Cuphead stuff. Say hi, Mr. Fruity.
Hello.
And then also with me today is another Messenger runner and the developer of the randomizer, Minus. He will be joining me also.
Hey, how you doing?
All right. Now, like I said, I can't commentate very well. Normally I chime in, however, because of allergies, my voice is not going to last long, so they will be doing 90% of the talking to make my gameplay look good instead of what you all will probably end up saying. Just kidding. So sit back, strap in. Minus is a lore hound, so he will know stuff about this game to pass on. But whenever you guys are ready, I will time out, we'll get going, and then they'll start it going.
I probably started the code more than I have the lore, honestly.
That's fair.
But in places of lore that I don't know, I just make stuff up. And I think that's just as legit.
That's great. All right, so here we go, guys. Time does start whenever the name selection is complete. So we'll be going in 3, 2, 1, and start.
All right, good luck.
Good luck. So this is a really cool category. Of course, it starts off with 8-bit with one minor difference, but this is going to be a fun time because I don't think this has ever been shown off on the GG Speedruns channel. So we're in for a bit of a long haul.
Any percent runs, especially the new game No Out of Bounds ones, is probably my favorite. Just because you're gonna see so much of the game, where there's not a whole lot we're gonna skip. Nothing big. So you'll see all the bosses, you'll see all the notes received, and you just get to see a huge chunk of the game and what the game has to offer, and you'll get to see it played very well. We're coming through Ninja Village right now, which is the intro to the game where they teach you just about the only skills that you have starting off when you start the game, which is just jumping, slashing, and cloud stepping. Cloud stepping is the ability to get another jump after you've hit something, an object, an obstacle, an enemy of some kind. And then after a certain upgrade, even their projectiles.
You know, like humans do normally.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of slashes and a lot of stabs. They look identical in this game, though. Stabs and slash.
Starting off with one homie shard is not bad.
Not bad, not bad. I'm always a fan, especially in my 8% runs, to pay those forward. Shoutouts to Soldier.
Yeah, the shards are important early on. Actually, no, in any percent, they're very important throughout the entire thing.
The shorter and shorter the run gets, the more and more that you have to consider your time shard management so that you can pick up some upgrades just to keep going fast. But a majority, like you were saying earlier, a majority of the first part of this is going to look like a typical 8-bit and then linear run with one huge deviation in Searing Crags that we'll get to later.
Yeah.
So where are we at now, Fruity? What is this?
We got Autumn Hills. This should be easier than it is for the first level, but there's a lot of tricky things with this. Going to be some jumping on spike pits, hopefully going in the correct direction. And just overall, a lot trickier movement than it should be for the first level of the game.
I've been having some good time with those turtle boosts. Just to talk about them real quick, turtle boosts, which you'll see for a little bit of the early part of the game, is when you hit an enemy, the green Kappa specifically, they take 3 hits to kill. And whenever you hit something like that doesn't die in one hit, it has the tendency to push you back and slow you down. And we can use that kind of physical pushback if we manipulate the direction that Ninja is facing at certain times. We can actually use it to pull us forward or to push us forward, depending on which direction we want to go.
Yeah. One individual turtle boost isn't too much time, but once you start stacking them up like you're seeing here in Autumn, then they can really start to bring your time down.
Yeah. And they're not free. You got to practice them. You can see how slight movement differences can actually make you go slower when attempting one. So you just practice them. They're fun things to do for early new game. Once you pick up rope dart, I think you see them a lot less. But
yeah, there's a couple here and there, but You want your rope dart moving over a turtle boost.
As we love to mention, coming into the first underwater area reminds us how wonderful the sound engineering and music is for this game. We'll shout out to Rainbow Dragon Eyes, the composer, for the music of the Messenger. And so always a time for us to remember when we get to go in and hear the muffled sounds of Autumn Hills, the song you'll probably hear the most of in your speedrunning career of this game.
Yep. Yeah, this game just has an absolute gem of a soundtrack. I always love putting it on at work, just listening through it all.
Same. It is really good. Popping over Spike Tower, no problem. And just going to continue the run. So with this run, you're going to see a progression of skills. So in the early parts of this game, it's all about just raw movement. We picked up climbing claws early on, plus an upgrade to hit enemy projectiles. So we utilize those for more fluid movement and flat stepping, but otherwise it's just running to the right and trying to keep moving. That's kind of it for the first couple of levels. And that can't be really replaced with any certain upgrade.
Yeah. Once we get to Searing Crags, that's when stuff really starts to get crazy.
Very good little log jump there.
Yeah.
That kind of drop. Yeah, that kind of drop encapsulates what a turtle boost looks like, and how a good one can actually save you a good amount of time.
Yeah, that's definitely the most important turtle boost that you'll come across. Nice movement through that tall room.
Mm-hmm. So you were talking time shards earlier, Fruity. The first store we got to, we needed 40 time shards in order to buy the first upgrade. When you're getting to the second one at the end of Autumn Hills, you want at least 130 walking into the shop. And then, of course, going to have plenty when going in. So we'll go in there and we'll pick up 2 more upgrades to help with the next fight in the next couple of levels. So he's picking up shurikens and an air recovery. So the shurikens are going to help in this boss specifically, and to help speed up plenty of rooms going through the rest of the run.
Yeah, that was a pretty cute shop there, actually.
It was super cute. Now
we never call anything a good shop. It's only cute shops.
Yeah, it's so cute. We're going for a 1 cycle here. Easy.
Yeah, mishaps happen here, but they shouldn't.
Oh, they definitely do to me.
Yeah,
and you can kind of feel it too. Yeah,
exactly. You have a good 10 seconds there if you don't get that 1 cycle to just sit there and go, oh, what'd you do that for?
Yeah. There's famously a world record run not too long ago by a 2C plus. He'd actually gotten a world record after, like, on the same run that he actually 2-cycled that boss. And so that's how I remember who did it, because it was a 2C.
Yeah,
2-cycle.
The 2C cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Here's our boy Necro, one of the 4 Phobicans who we get to rescue. It's always nice seeing them rescued in any percent. One of the best things about any percent, in my opinion.
That's true. We had just missed right before dropping down here one of the most difficult levels in the game, Forlorn Temple. But we don't feel like dealing with it now. We'll do it later.
Yeah. Yeah, the meme of, oh, Forlorn is stupid. It doesn't work for this category, because we actually have to go there, and it's a really tough level.
Yep. Oh, hi, Ruxton.
Hi, Ruxton.
Cleaning up one of the first Ruxton rooms. Going for the butt boost.
Good butt boost.
This is a close one. There you go.
Very nice.
That strat, funny enough, actually feels consistent once you practice it enough, but it never stops looking scary.
Yeah.
And that's why I love it.
Catacombs is the level all about cycles, and doing whatever you possibly can to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of runners don't go for that butt boost. Some are crazy enough to.
Yeah, it saves you a second or two for a cycle, and it results in a death that puts you back at the beginning of the stage. So
yeah.
Of course he goes for it. I would also watch for some of the other crazy stuff he loves to do here in Catacombs.
Yeah, Catacombs is a fun level. Getting that little bit of extra speed boost from walking on the platforms as they're moving from left to right.
Yeah, it's a nice little speed up. You see it a couple of times in the run where I think in actually the next room you can do it too. spend just an extra few frames on it to get that additional speed. So minor time saves here and there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that underwater section is the cycle you can't beat, so you just go through the spikes, because why not?
Yep. We're coming up on the next big skip here. It's not too dangerous to ever practice, so this is a fun one to practice because you can just set up and try for it, and if you don't get it, well, that's all right. You'll just do it normally like you're going to do anyway. So he's going to set up for a badonk. Yabba dabba donk. Oh, he wants it. He wants it bad.
Yep,
he wants it bad.
Go.
Oh, it's so close.
Dang.
So he jumped just a few frames too early and bonked his head, which is where it gets its fabled name. But if he was just a few more pixels to the left, he would have actually made contact with the lantern up there and been able to cloud step over the trigger for the second Ruxton cutscene.
Yeah, it's
saving a lot of time.
Yeah, it's one of those things that if you get it, it kind of doesn't really look like much to the untrained eye. Because,
Yeah.
you know, if nobody knows that there's supposed to be a cutscene there.
Yeah, but it's hype every time. It
Oh,
always
yeah.
looks good. So, and I respect him wanting to take the second attempt to set up for it. Because it is worth it if he gets it.
Yeah, the big thing I find, though, is that if you get Badonk, it's like 9 times out of 10 you're going to get a low Ruxton.
All right, watch this. Watch this. Why would you do that? Every time.
That is
You know what?
clean.
He's actually made me start doing that.
Oh, that was so clean.
That is such a fun way to do that room. And I remember a time when we would all toy with the idea of never doing it. And now runners are picking it up and just doing it because it is faster. That is the faster way to do that room. But you are.
I have no
jumping
idea what you're
around
talking about.
I'm sure you don't.
Yeah, I want to say it's, what, 0.3, 0.2, 0.3
Something
seconds
like that,
faster?
Yeah. We got a low Ruxton in the fight.
Yeah,
So
okay.
Ruxton's one of the big RNG moments of this game, where getting a low Ruxton is just an 8-second time loss, and there's really not
Yeah.
much you can do about it.
Yeah, unfortunately, too, it's a minimum 8-second time loss because you have to deal with the awkward slash jumps getting up to the center platform, and just an all-around sad time.
If you'd gone high first, it would have been a very quick fight. But that is okay. Hang out, we say bye to Ruxton. You can only stay mad at him for so long. Bamboo.
Yeah, I like those. If you Yeah, a couple of these climbs are where we're going to see Min really grab some more time shards. The time shard count is pretty important for any percent. Whereas like with 8-bit and linear, you're kind of just like, okay, I have this amount, I don't need to worry about it. Whereas like for 80%, you can never have too many shards.
Honestly, this is truly the shot that I think about when it comes to time shards. Is this one here? You're looking to have about 250, 251, 254 when you're leaving the waterfall room. So you kind of gauge that to see how many you should pick up. So that you can have at least 275 coming into this next shop. Then space it out just well enough. Picked up one shard on the drop in the waterfall and come out with plenty of money. So
yeah, we fell in a pit, but fortunately, Shoppy was kind enough to give a wingsuit. So time to harness the wings.
Time to harness the wings. And along with that, I picked up 2 optional upgrades to help speed this up a bit. One of which you'll actually see more in this run, but a few times. But once here, it's the underwater speed boost. You can do a lot of cool stuff with it. And
yeah, fortunately, we actually get to see that because in 8-bit you only get to see the one.
Mm-hmm. You'll see it's used plenty in this run. Now, the other one was the glide attack, essentially. So it's the ability to kind of attack downward as you're gliding. We'll use that a lot to be able to just keep moving forward.
Yeah, we got a fun little trick here. We call it the DK skip because this room is similar to the old Donkey Kong arcade games. See, okay, yeah, 2-3 shurikens just to get that cap out of the way.
Gonna go for clean.
The boost.
Boom.
Nice.
No problem.
Clean corners.
Yeah. Min showing his consistency with it. I see him get that more times than not, especially with his really good recovery on that first damage boost. That kind of makes or breaks it. That and all of the... I like that damage boost. That's kind of nice. Makes you...
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple things to worry about. You got to worry about your corners and, of course, the damage. Solid.
Yeah. Oh, that was nice.
That was cool.
So that what we'll affectionately refer to as the boulder douche there is it's a room where you actually purposefully have to slow down a little bit because if he's perfectly spaced where if he spins around and throws the rock, it's going to hit you when you're falling down. So we slow down and have him throw it the other way and then fall down to the left of him. But you can see how he did it just about the perfect time where he threw and then immediately turned around. So I like that.
This room done cleanly is so cool to see.
Oh yeah. Let me see if I can hear.
Oh, platforms are hard to drop through. It's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, that might not have been
some
right.
slow descents here. We're gonna get the hay. Hey, right there at the first lantern. So not bad.
All right, time to count. Let's see how the counting's
Yes, the counting boss. The counting
yell
boss.
at random numbers to mess with his counting.
The number you're looking for in here is 8. If you have trouble like me playing a game and counting to 7 or 8 at the same time, then this boss will be a challenge for you. But what you'll see Min doing here is that he will get 7 hits on the initial core of the boss, run to the wall, and throw a shuriken for the 8th hit so that he can get the maximum damage on the head as possible.
This is kind of scary here.
Doing right side. Okay, so he had anticipated the miscount and threw 2 shurikens. So very good.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you're in that center area going for the slashes, the golden core itself will be throwing projectiles at you. So you can take a bonk that you really don't want to take there.
Yeah, so he'll come into phase 2 with very good, very good recovery.
Clean drop.
Yeah, very clean.
What was that ball phase?
I don't know.
You call that a monkey ass.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
Like
scared me, but the recovery.
I know.
Wow. So a major thing about that fight, the second phase, is you can win frames back by being as low to the ground as possible when that fight is over. The lower you can be, the sooner Ninja touches the ground and initiates the next dialogue. What Min was able to do is actually throw that shuriken and continue dropping, so he was well off the screen by that time, and that brought him back a second or so, I'd say.
Yeah, you always want to see a nice low kill there.
we come into Quilch Room. You kind of see a pattern in the early parts of this game. One of the major designs of this game that I really love. You have these patterns of let's take you to a level or two, harness, build up some of the skills you have, and then let's introduce a new item. And then you go through that stage using the new item, and then you come into the next level that doesn't introduce too much. It just kind of allows you to build on what you had before. So you'll see in this right room here how we're going to actually continue to utilize the wingsuit to keep moving right.
Yeah, hoping to not lose any momentum whatsoever. The biggest issue will be spike ball coming up here.
I hate this ball. But yeah, no problem for him.
Nice
He's able to anticipate the cycles based on how fast he moves through the room, because it's all in a global cycle. Well, I say global, but it's all in a room cycle when you enter. So if you know and you do the right turtle boost and you know where the cycle is, you should be pretty good.
Yeah. Nice tight jump over that boo ring there.
That is tighter than it looks. Too soon or too early, and you're going to touch one of the spikes.
Yeah.
So this is just, I remember casually this being one of the levels that really felt ramped up in difficulty. It's been real fun to play it as a speedrunner. And it's actually pretty fun.
Yeah, when you get to this point, there's definitely some tough stuff in Quilch Room for sure, but it feels like a bit of a calm before the storm level, for me at least, because Crags is really tough to optimize.
Good, when the rope dart comes into play, there is so much to optimize. It's no longer just hold right and just keep moving, but,
yeah, exactly.
Well, you'll see. You'll see.
Bit of a short hop there to keep that bird from tracking after him as soon as possible.
You'll see him trying not to spend too much time in the quicksand there, because quicksand is slow, despite its name.
Yeah, I don't know why they called it that.
We're going to come through the last sections of Quilch Room here. Do a little spike ball here, and then we have another fun room based on a cycle, depending on which cycle you're going for. Let's see.
Really fun room.
Bonk there, he'll do the left side. There you go.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, you can make it around the right side of that spike platform before it touches the wall, but it's extremely tight.
It's been scary. That's a death if it crushes you, so...
Yeah.
And it's a painful death.
Yeah, or just bonk your head right into the spikes, of course.
Queen of Quills. Fruity, what are we shooting for in here?
No whips. Except for that first one.
That's right. We don't want any more whips. There are a couple of different phases in which this boss will be killed. Let's see what he's doing. Okay, so that's fine. He'll be under... Let's see how she acts. No, okay. So he was going for the... So if he had gotten the fastest kill, then at that hop right there, she would have hopped directly to the middle of the room, and it would have been done. Unfortunately, he didn't get enough damage on... Nope. I think he missed some in the first phase and couldn't make up for it the second. So he had under-damaged her, and so she went into the whipping phase, so you lose a little bit of time on those whips. But still a solid kill, not getting any spores, not losing any time to like an additional hook jump, things like that. It was the fast kill, which was later replaced with the whipless faster kill. Oh.
Yeah, no, that whipless is a big point because it's very precise to get, and you lose what, like 8 seconds or so.
8 seconds is generally the number I give when I don't know. Yeah. So yes, 8 seconds.
Fair enough.
Crags. Here we go.
Oh boy, this is where the game really starts to pick up.
We're about to speed up. All right, so we just picked up one of the last, the last required item for the linear portion of the game, essentially. The rope dart. It's not a grapple hook. It's not any of those other things. It is a rope dart, and the shopkeeper likes to make sure that we know that. Alongside with that, just to mention quickly, we picked up some health upgrades to have more health, and also enemy health drops that can help us with certain strats going on later on.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. It usually doesn't happen.
You'll see it at least in the early stages utilized heavily or counted on in Tower of Time to see if you can do things like laser skip or French connection, stuff like that. Right. He's gonna go for health here. Oh, that's right. I forgot we're doing any percent.
Yeah, same. So this is the big difference we're gonna see. Gonna be doing a cool trick here where you bring the bird up.
I want to see how he does it.
Yeah, there's a lot of different setups actually for this. You going for ground strat? Oh, I think you got it. Nice.
Wow, that's really good. I have not tried Gron's way, and I really, really like it.
Alright, so a couple of baits here. And... Oh, no!
Okay, so he's got to go set up again. He lost the
Dang.
rope dart, too, so he's going to have to go releash, I think.
That's the worst case scenario is right at the end there.
So while he's setting up for this, I want to talk a bit about leashing. So the rope dart is an amazing tool that we get. Oh, he went.
Think health here, yeah.
Oh, nice. A little backup here. So the rope dart is an amazing tool that actually has a lot more use than was intended. One of which is teleporting, which we'll discuss later, I'm sure. But the important one here is leashing. So leashing is the concept that the game doesn't know that you've kind of finished a leash or finished a rope dart. You attempt a rope dart of an enemy, and before that rope dart finishes, beautiful, and to go up and pick up a note you don't see. Basically, what he's doing is he's picking up an item that you typically don't get until much later in the game. It's one of the 6 notes in order to finish the game. He's going to pick it up early, so he doesn't have to come back here. Saves up.
That was aggravating.
Later. I believe it. Leashing.
Yeah.
So this is one of the major points in any percent that has come up, and it's just it's a big trick that you have to learn to save yourself a bunch of time. You of course don't have to do it, but it's a huge time save.
Yeah, I've heard like 5 minutes, I think. For
You'll have
saving
to-
the crag revisit.
Yeah, because you have to do the crag revisit, do the power thistle, get jumped over there, and then do it normally. So 5 minutes sounds right. So leashing, just to cap it off, what happens, because it's a little complicated, but what happens is you get hit while trying to finish a leash, and then the leash is is the rope dart. It's kind of still stuck on the enemy, and the enemy never despawns because it's trying to finish the rope dart. So the enemy basically stays loaded, and birds and bats specifically, they follow you. So we call it leashing. We'll take them from room to room, which is typically not possible, and to use them in places they weren't intended to be used.
Yeah, ooh, a very nice climb up that last room there. You can go up the left or right side. Right side is a little bit slower, but it looks a lot cooler, and it's a lot more built.
We're fighting Kolos and Susis, the Colossuses, and this is another big RNG boss because they have so many different attacks that you don't really have any way to control or manipulate. So this one you try to react as best you can.
Yeah.
He got first cycle Susis, which is great. Susis actually has a little bit more health. Good to get him knocked out of the way. So it's just finishing up Kolos. I didn't see any team attacks.
Yeah,
So it's
that's
just
big.
a bunch of rocks. One slam.
Charging a boulder is super big.
This is a great attack. He's going straight up, and the fight's done just like that. Not
That
bad.
was an amazing boss fight. What happened?
Yeah, that was
so
a great
good.
setup. So that's the kind of moves you want to see when you get in that fight. What you don't want to see them is starting to spin ball or doing the people's elbow. Like, you don't want to see any of that. That's slow, and that's time that's much harder to continuously deal damage to them.
Yeah, it's like
That was a 59
Sorry.
a 59-second Colossus, by the way.
Nice.
Wow. All right, shovel please in chat for Glacial. This is another one of those levels I was telling you, kind of that cycle of get a new thing and then kind of expand on it in a later level. Glacial Peak is the kind of culmination of the early parts of the run. You get to come in here and just have this amazing climb. It feels great.
Yeah.
It feels fast. Easily probably one of my favorite early levels to do.
Yeah, like Glacial has all of the cool movement of Crags, but not the absurd difficulty of Crags. So it's just an absolute gorgeous stage to see done properly.
Mm-hmm. Lots of really cool things to do. Nice rope dart right there. That's actually a little more precise than it looks to get that rope dart just right. And of course it's faster and it feels good.
Yeah.
Which is the main reason why we do every strat. Little off-screen Hansan right there. There you go. Hansans are just rope darting the kind of the bottom of openings in order to speed yourself up to them, but not latch onto the wall. Named after an early speedrunner of the game of the same name. Just a little rope dart there, but no biggie. Moving on to, we saw this strange wanderer, mysterious wanderer character in Bamboo as well, but we don't have time to hang out with him. We're just gonna keep moving. You can't really fight him anyway. He keeps teleporting around and he just leaves.
Yeah, I hope we don't have to encounter him later. I don't see it.
Yeah, I know. It seems fast.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Let's see if Min gets it. If he does, I'll explain this. Beautiful.
Very nice.
So what you saw there was another really neat rope dart trick called teleporting, which is a bit of a misnomer since the ninja's not actually teleporting, just moving very, very fast. But the idea is still the same. So what's happening there is Miinfin rope darted an enemy, but before he rope darted, he actually threw a slash, and the slash animation stays in front of the ninja for a second or so. So if you throw a slash or a shuriken or whatever, some kind of damage dealer ahead of the rope dart, and it kills the enemy you rope dart before the rope dart finishes, and at the same time, an enemy of the same type is coming onto screen, the rope dart will actually finish on the second enemy. And it'll actually move you immediately to that enemy as much as it can, and finish the rope dart. Depending on elevation, you'll see different things like a teleport pushing you into a wall or stuff like that. But that's the general run. So you can probably tell that teleports are very precise in where they can be done.
Yeah, it's time for the fun stuff though. We got lasers and spikes, and that's pretty much it.
If we talked about Glacial being like that really awesome culmination of all of your skills, this level, the Tower of Time, is one of the ultimate boss levels of this game. Doesn't matter how skilled you are at it, this level is hard. It is a gauntlet.
Yeah, there's some crazy strats here. You can just slam your face into the lasers here and make it through all of them with a little bit of help from the Wizrobe. We call that the Hail Mary, but definitely respect the leaving that strat out of the way here. But a cool thing that it'll do, though, is it'll let Min go for a strat later that you would otherwise need either 1 or 2 health drops for.
Yeah. Taking a little damage there off the Wizrobe so that you can speed through that room.
That was a cool strat. I wonder who discovered that strat.
And then, I'll tell you one thing. Wizrobes are probably my least favorite enemies in the game by far. They are entirely RNG based. The way they work, I was actually poking around the code a little while ago to make sure of this, but the way that they work is they decide a location on the screen to be on based on the camera. So within the camera's bounds, the Wizrobe will decide a location to be on. And it's super annoying because it's entirely RNG, and they can go somewhere you don't want them to be. They'll either slow you down or just straight up kill you.
Yeah, in rooms, yeah, we'll see that a bit later. When after a strat where you'll have 1 HP and 3 Wizrobes to deal with.
Oh, we'll see. It goes for it. Yeah. So as you were saying, he's able to do this laser skip. Whew. Since he had 5 or more health. Lasers, one of the most damaging items in the game, actually do 4 hits of damage to you if you hit one. Spikes do 3. Things like the Queen of Quill's whip and like Seuss's whip, stuff like that, that does 2, and then everything else typically does 1 damage.
Yeah, ooh, a little bit of a hiccup there.
There we go.
Yeah, Ninja never got used to getting whipped in the shower or whatever. This could be a deceptive room.
I'll tell you,
here will prevent a strat later.
That's true. I thought a lot about this room. I just am so surprised how close it feels, even for us running through it casually. Oh, here we go. Wait for it. Nice. There's the second hit.
Good. Depot Wiz room. Okay. Whew.
I hate this room.
Yep,
okay, very good.
All
very
right.
good. So he did a little eyeball laser skip there, rope darting off of the little swing, and then taking 1 more hit from the eye, coming into the 3 Wizard room with 1 health is one of my nightmares that I constantly relive. And then we'll come into the Time Waster room, showing off a trick that you don't see too often, but it's kind of a backwards slash that he does when holding onto a wall, which actually feels kind of counterintuitive because you'll actually hold away from the wall, slash, and then jump. And it'll actually cause the animation to to snap behind Ninja for a frame or so, and that's long enough for the slash to happen. Beautiful.
Good stuff.
Yeah, and then saved a second or so jumping over the lasers, because those lasers do not expand past the camera up there. They actually do have a limit.
Yeah, how very kind of them. Usually we hate lasers, but in this one rare scenario, they're on our side.
So now we come in to Arcane Golem.
AKA do the thing.
Do the thing. Do the thing V1. We come in, showing off another amazing function of the rope dart is the iframes. During many of the animations of the rope dart, you actually have iframes where you can't be damaged, and we abuse everything about that in order to stay close to bosses, continuously do damage. Well done on what I think was a high 33 8-bit.
3405 it looked like on the stream timer.
3405, okay, there you go.
3350 was my 8-bit time.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, right, because that's not loadless.
Yeah, but that's cool.
10 seconds of loads.
That's right. So if we were doing an 8-bit run, we would have finished right there and said thank y'all so much for hanging out. But we're going to continue on because that's not the kind of run we're doing.
Yeah, I get this fancy hat that makes me go fast.
That is a really nice hat.
That is a cool hat.
Like, wow.
Yeah, I gotta tell you.
Can't get over that hat.
Yeah, nothing screams jumping into the future like 8 more bits, so many more animation frames, many more music layers, and a really neat hat.
Yeah, Cloud Runes is one of my favorite tracks in the whole game. Such a good song.
I believe the original Shovel Please, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Just because of the banger.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I guess you could use that for anything.
Yeah, exactly. You can see how Shovel kind of moved, but yeah, great song. I will admit this though. So we're getting into the linear portion. This is the linear part of the run where we continue for 2 more levels. We have the 16-bit Cloud Ruins and then Underworld, 16-bit. And 16-bit Cloud Ruins has to actually be my least favorite level.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
There's a lot going on here. It's a long split. It's a tough level. Lots of endless pits. I honestly prefer the 8-bit revisit than I do the initial one, just
really?
because of all the pits and deaths that I don't experience as much in 8-bit, even though the 8-bit one is harder. And then, of course, the boss. The boss is a big deal here.
That's fair. I respect the attempt on that quick spike climb.
Yeah.
You can do that with 1 damage boost and make it all the way up.
Yeah. Instead, you kind of get hit by the toothbrush, I believe is what they call it. I heard Terry call it the toothbrush. Manfred. Manfred is the boss of this stage. We know him. We love him. He's such a great guy, but I think he's in a bit of a bad mood today. Put on his red coat and spikes. He's just not feeling it and just wants to give hugs that will actually one-hit Ninja if they touch.
So you can beat that top crusher cycle, but you can only do it with a good rope dart climb, because rope dart doesn't do enough. It also helps you climb faster.
Yeah. You can also see a cycle reset there. Get 2 hits on the box, come out, do the last hit with a rope dart, and swing right into that room real quick so you can skip that cycle. Alright, so here's the room that makes me dread this place entirely. Just a long pit room. Easily one of my least favorite rooms ever. There's a teleport in here. Oh, I didn't get it. Okay.
Oh, not quite. Yeah, this room is definitely an edge of the seat room.
Yep, and you'll go low. There you go.
Okay.
Those sirens are manipulated by your altitude, your positioning. So sometimes if you move a little differently, I love teleports. Teleports gotta be one of my favorite functions. They don't really save all that much time, but I mean, they save a little bit, and they're just so swag. Even if they didn't save time, I would still do them.
Oh yeah.
So going through Manfred Chase 2. Yeah, Manfred Chase number 2. Something to note, and you probably see it more on this one and the next, it is easy, very easy to actually get in front of the camera. There's nothing stopping you from doing so, except if you don't have a lot of confidence or know what's coming up. you won't really have any reaction time. So some of us will kind of wait and let the camera catch back up, but you can just run past it.
Yeah. Blind Manfred chases, though, are very scary.
Very good. So we're coming to kind of the last section of Cloud Ruins here. Oh, there you go, good save. Coming to the, what they call this the car wash. And actually, because of a part of the room you don't see too much, gonna drip down the siren there. Those two crusher things coming together. Thierry, the writer and creator of this game, actually refers to as the car wash, which I love.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
And then you saw he kind of dripped down that siren. He respawned it so he can get a rope dart off of it to save himself the run across. Ooh, red Kappa. All right.
We got a saber kill. I don't know what Min normally does.
Min is a real sweetheart, I think, and he likes to hang out with our good buddy Red Kappa. And then, along with, we got little Red Kappa here and Manfred, and we all just hang out.
Yeah.
Never mind.
No, you
Levy says save. Levy called it. Levy, you win 10 internets. Good job.
Congrats on your internets.
Yeah. So you'll see some runners choose to rope dart to get a little bit more speed in the room. Of course, minuscule time save over the grand scheme of things. So we kind of play this little game on whether or not we actually choose to kill him or not.
No,
Fun fact, that Red Kappa who falls down actually does survive, and if you wish, you can go find him hanging around somewhere in Coolstream Marsh.
Oh. This is why we don't like Cloud Ruins.
Yeah, Manfred. The Manfred fight is it's a tough fight. It's a long fight, and it's a tough one. So the first trick you saw him try to do when he came in was try to get Manfred stuck in that ball animation. We call it Ball Fred. If you can get him stuck there, then the fight is over very quickly. It's very positional based, and more often than not, you're not going to actually get him to lock in place. So what you try to learn is the legit strat for beating this boss, which is called juggling. We try to keep the boss on screen as long as possible. When he's doing these kind of rushes right there, where he bounces back, and you kind of go up and down with him and keep hitting him in the face to keep him on screen as long as possible. That's really, when you're running this game, the strat to learn.
Yeah,
and also you kind of learn the timing for it too.
Yeah, you practice 95% juggling and 5% ball for it.
Yeah, I just figured, there you go, good fight.
Nice.
If there's anything that you really want to avoid, it's a death. Because it's a long fight.
It really is.
It is. Out of any percent, this is probably my least favorite fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Balfred saves, I want to say 20 or so seconds over like a good one cycle or like a perfect one cycle juggle.
Yeah. And then I could just imagine Nessus in chat being like, have y'all read my tutorial or watched my tutorial?
Yeah, Nessus is like plugging the tutorial right now.
We're going into, so it's just been revealed this, that Wanderer was totally the demon general, but something or other, and I can never remember his name.
Parmesan cheese.
Thank you, I love it. And he was that Wanderer. He's been following us around trying to find the Tower of Time or whatever, and then he dropped us down into the underworld. So we're gonna come through here, hanging around with another just banger of a song, a kind of a 16-bit rendition of the song you heard in Ninja Village when they attacked, and then also dealing with Fanta. So you got the rising lava that's flowing real heavily, and that's the scary Fanta. That's the Fanta you don't want to drink too hot.
Yeah, a little too spicy.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you though, Underworld, pretty fun. There are some really neat climbs. If there's something I really love about this game, it's the climbs. The ascents can feel very satisfying.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice
like,
damage
there's nothing
boost.
too crazy in Underworld, so it's just a ton of fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. A lot of neat little things, and then the boss here is, it's fun, challenging, but it's fun.
Yeah, this is going to be hopefully a really cool strat that we're seeing.
So bust through here. Min says I don't need no stinking checkpoints.
Oh,
we move on. Checkpoints are slow. All right. Did you know, Fruity, that the lava in this room actually rises?
Yeah, it took me a bit to realize that.
You sit in here, practice something, or look around and stuff, you can see the lava rise.
Yeah,
You're
and
like,
it's
oh,
like,
I
oh,
forgot I did that.
Excuse me, please don't.
Yeah. Oh,
Nice assistance from the Kappa there to get up to that ledge.
that spot in particular, that room climb is one of my favorites. Very satisfying, that little like jump back and forth too.
Yeah.
Then you got a few descents, showing that we're getting near the end of the stage. You got a first descent. Ooh, there you go.
Yep, respect for sure.
And then kind of go through the swinging room here. One more descent, and we are going to be in the boss fight.
Oh, not quite getting the rope chart on those spikes. That's a tricky one to get though, because the 16-bit graphics are a bit more detailed, so it's hard to see where the corner is in some places.
All right, so Min's going to try to get a very fast kill on this boss, moving the boss into the right corner of the room, and then just keep him there. Very good setup. Got there quick, didn't take any extra damage. Gonna hang up on top. Good extra damage there, and then throwing the shuriken just in time, gets him locked in place. Throws another one just to keep it there, and fight's done. Wonderful.
Good stuff.
Very good fight. And with that, I think that was so what was that? Was that just under 44?
It was a 4401.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So 4401 linear. And if we were just doing a linear run, we would say thank you so much for hanging out. We had a great time. But we're not. We're doing any percent. We're doing the rest of the run. Y'all get strapped in.
Yeah.
We haven't even gotten started.
Yeah, that was about the first third of the game. Now we got the rest of it to go through.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We got a nice cutscene here where we can relax and kind of just set up for and set up for the rest of the run. It opens up at this point. There's a lot of lore here that kind of sets up the cycle of the messengers and shows a bunch of stuff off, and then kind of showing where the rest of the game's going to go. And then it opens up. It opens up to essentially a Metroidvania game where you go back through a lot of the stages you've been in different time zones, a couple of new ones you haven't seen yet, while we go and collect the 6 musical notes to get inside the music box to break the curse. That's what we're here to do. Soldier, he's the real hero of my heart.
Yeah, this is a really cool character. I hope nothing bad happens to him.
Yeah, me too.
God, I love that song that plays there. Man from the Sky Serpent, it is such a banger.
It really is. Oh, hey, look. I guess we're the shopkeeper now.
Yeah, this is definitely my favorite cutscene. Unfortunately, it's a little long, but it can be a nice break after linear.
You'll basically sit here holding the text skip buttons, which is the tabby button and jump. You'll hold those buttons down and kind of just relax here for a while. There's nothing to do until you have to put the input on the cabinet once to open it, and then once to open it again at the end of this cutscene. Otherwise, you kind of sit here, you take a drink, you relax, and then you get started on the second part of the run, which is a majority of it. Things are only going to get more intense.
All right, that's why I got my coffee next to me. This is where I take a sip. One thing I do want to point out going out from here is there is a new route. I will be following the new route, but I won't be doing any of the new tricks because I'm not that good yet.
So you're still going to do the Glacial Leash?
Yeah, still going to do Glacial Leash, and then we're still going to end up doing PP Skip because I don't know how to do the backdoor tabby, but I'm still doing the new route.
I haven't learned any of that cool new stuff yet.
Yeah, talk to Grandius and Calberry.
Yeah, those look so cool. I can't wait to get back to any percent sometime.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad I haven't dipped into any percent at all, because route changes are always just a bit of a bother to deal with.
Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, I gotta fix my splits. All right, so anyway, something bad happened to Soldier. We don't know. Something was supposed to save him. We don't know what. So we're coming in here, and they're telling us, "Hey, you got to fix this." I'm like, "Oh, okay. I guess we'll fix whatever happened." And the prophet here is going to tell us, "Hey, we're going to open up these portals, and there's notes here. We got 2 of them already, but we didn't get the other 6. So can you go get those for us?" Okay, thanks. Bye. Roger that. Oh, by the way, we already have one, but whatever.
Yeah. We got a old. Oh, do you mean this?
Yeah. So this is where the route kind of changes a bit. We used to go straight to the Hope Note in Autumn Hills, but the routes actually changed to do Skylands earlier, which I kind of like. Skylands is a big place for us to get time shards for more upgrades, and doing it early, the only thing you really miss out on is doing the talk here just to not have to do it later. And then It's going to drop down and get into Skylands early. What you would typically have to do to get into Skylands is you'd have to go to Riviere, you'd have to get the Firefly, you'd have to cure the monk, and then you have to come back up here with the monk who whips the lanterns to let you get across to get to Skylands. We're not going to do any of that. We're just going to leash a bird, bring it up with us, and we're going to get ourselves onto the platform to go to Skylands.
Yeah,
Monk will be fine though.
Do all of that other stuff. Yeah, she shows up at the end of the game.
Yeah, she's fine. That's really cool. Double damage boost.
Oh,
We used to leash off this. Oh, I guess you're gonna leash off the Wizrobe.
yeah, it's a little bit
never done
trickier
that
to set up, but if you get it first try, it saves time over the bird at the bottom. See, okay, there we go.
I didn't know that. I didn't know it saved time. Because I know you have to do this entire run back without rope dart.
Yeah, it's pretty close, I think.
It is faster, and I've actually started taking to it. You just gotta watch out for the Wizrobe's placement sometimes, so you don't accidentally kill him.
I hate the Wizrobe.
Yeah, we need him to come with, and then, of course, not accidentally rope darting. Whoa,
So this is
okay.
a really cool show off of how the leash works, because the enemy is still is not getting despawned when you're changing rooms. He just spawns when he chooses to spawn points, just somewhere on your camera, and hopefully it's not in the way.
Yeah, he's just coming along with us.
There's an example of where you would not want the Wizrobe to spawn, but he doesn't care. We need to
He's
bring
just
him
along for a journey.
to this room. There's
Manfred.
Manfred. He got himself into a little bit of a pickle. So normally you would need those shattered, or you could use a new strat to kind of get a double jump to make it over to that. We said, nah, we're just gonna use this Wizrobe to glide over there.
Yeah. Most
Very,
Wizrobes,
very nice.
95% of Wizrobes we hate in this run. This is one that we like.
I don't like him. I'll tolerate him.
Yeah,
Well, he gives you, in 8-bit Glacial, he gives you that projectile.
That's true. He does
Yeah,
beat me up in that room. I'll
he
give
is
him that.
mostly helpful, but
I give him that. The most
sometimes
helpful
he's
Wizrobe.
trolly.
All right, so let's do Skylands.
Oh, Skylands.
Skylands is fun. It's a long split. It's probably one of the longest ones, I think. You're gonna have a couple of these auto-scrolly. I can't call it a bullet hell, but the boss kind of. Just kind of a side-scrolling shooter like this, where you're coming through, going to the 4 elemental Skylands. To bring down the shield and talk to the Clockwork Concierge, who has one of the notes we need.
Yeah, we've got one of the best tracks in the game, either 8-bit or 16-bit versions, whichever you prefer.
I love it.
They're both so good.
They have that. You notice that 16-bit's got that. It's so 8-bit is more of like an NES vibe, very reminiscent of that time. Whereas 16-bit goes closer to like the Genesis. You got that bass. And then that blast processing. So
Yeah, there's a lot more going on in 16-bit.
you can hear the bass sometimes in some of these. This actually has another. This is one of the songs that has a hey in it. So we had mentioned briefly the hey in Grotto. There's a meme run of this game called Hey Percent, where you actually go to all the locations with songs that have hey and hear all of them, 8 and 16. And so this is one of the levels you'd come to do that. And what that hey is that we talk about, actually the development team for the game all got together and made that like hey sound, and then they compressed it and put it into the game. So that's what you're hearing is the development team saying hey.
Yeah, it's pretty funny the Hey Percent run, because it just ends with you coming to Skylands, hearing the first hey, and getting to the Earth Skyland and just sitting there and waiting
Yeah,
for the song to loop.
that's really funny. As soon as you get the hey, time.
Yeah, unfortunately we don't have an auto splitter for that yet.
Oh, that's true. I don't know how you could do that.
I don't know, you're the code guy.
I know, I'm already thinking about it. Maybe you can do it based off timestamp if you know what time that hey is supposed to happen. Maybe. I'm not trying to get into that. So
Yeah, this is a very important spot for us to be in, because as you can see, we're getting a lot of time shards. And
one of
we
the-
come
yeah.
here first to help with the backdoor tabby route, because you need to buy the upgrades to make sure you don't die on a bunch of spikes.
Yeah. So
that's a
coming
good
out,
point.
yeah, coming out of Autumn Note, once we get the Hope Note, you need 1,300 shards. So That's why we do this, because you can get a lot. I can usually come out of this at around 1,500. What sucks is, since I don't have the tabby, Fire Skylands is significantly difficult.
Yeah. You have minor details like you can actually tabby on the quicksand as well. Although that's not a huge deal, you can also just hop on it. But Fire Skylands probably feels it the most.
Yeah, absolutely. Walking on lava is much more helpful than walking on quicksand.
It kind of gives you that secure feeling too, because if you make one wrong step or you get pushed into the lava, it's death.
Yeah.
If you don't get out in time.
Yeah, as opposed to being like, oh wait, I'm fine, I can just walk on it.
Mm-hmm. But easily one of the best places to get shards.
Oh yeah.
So we're finished with the Earth Skyland. We need to go to Water Skyland next, which I believe is actually Miinfin's favorite Skyland. There's a couple of fun water yeets you can do there. You kind of saw one in Grotto. You'll see him do one or two more just to get some small boosts here and there. They show off some enemies that you haven't seen yet. You typically see them in Sunken Shrine, which we'll go to soon, and they are reminiscent of like the blue kappas. They throw those tridents and arcs. Oh, there's the hay. They throw the tridents and the arcs, and they're snipers.
I don't like them. They have good aim. They suck.
Great aim. We're gonna use them to try to finish that stage fast. So let's see.
A couple of boosts on a couple of climbs.
Oh, really good. That's fast.
Yeah, got to drop down here, unfortunately, to switch the time.
And another fast, quick one. See, it's fun to do. You see him burst through here. The big use of the spin, the fast swim there. All right, we're gonna hit something here. Go up. We need to do it. There you go. Beautiful.
Ooh, one health here. A little sketchy.
Whew. Ah.
Okay, we got a nice checkpoint. And a health point.
He doesn't need checkpoints, but he got the health. Who needs
no. Oh, jeez. Okay. These lamps, of course, you hit these to disable the shield generator. Those sticks are so awkward to hit. Because there's just so many enemies strewn about the room.
Alright, with that, water is done. We've got one left. Fire Skyland. We'll go finish that one up, and then we'll head on to have a discussion with the Clockwork Concierge. A little bit of funny side lore for this game. Another reason why we're here, other than getting our note, is Manfred's helping us out because he'd love to meet the Clockwork Concierge. Manfred is actually aspiring to be a butler. If you couldn't have guessed from his name, he's kind of born to be a butler. So the Clockwork Concierge being the greatest butler, he's hoping to kind of learn from. So Manfred's excited to meet what he considers kind of I don't know if a hero, but
the butler superstar.
Yeah, more like a star. He'll be starstruck.
So hopefully the Clockwork Concierge is nice enough to have a friendly discussion about a music note and our boy Manfred.
I'm sure it'll go well. We're pretty charismatic.
Yeah, I like calling Clockwork Concierge Dr. Cal's robot. Of course, we just finished up our Cuphead tournament, so gotta throw in a bit of a Cuphead reference. Fire Skyline is scary.
Fire Skyline can't be scary. No one likes all these little lava sections. Without the tabbies, a drop in there is instant death.
Yep. And we would have used the tabby there to help with those lanterns. But instead you kind of have to take it a little slower.
This room is also a little different. Min's going to wait out the wave, alright? And then kind of skip here, there we go. And that's kind of the big parts of it. We're right here at the end. We get the checkpoint and pop on down to have our little Clockwork Concierge talk.
Yep.
Now, I heard Cuphead people like mashing, right?
Oh, if you like mashing, this is the mashing boss. There's not really a buffer on the fireballs for Manfred, so you can get a lot of hits out based on the speed of your mashing, and that's pretty good. That's pretty good damage.
Yeah,
So
you can
it's
tell by his eyebrows that he's an angry boy, so he doesn't feel like talking right now.
So the goal here is you have 3 rounds where you damage the eye, and then the 3 cannons in order to get the chest to open, and then attack the heart 3 times. And you attack the heart for 3 rounds. On that 3rd phase, it's done. So there's phase 2. Getting a bunch of hits in here.
Yeah, pretty scripted fight, at least based on the heart damage.
Yeah, what you have to kind of deal with is the missiles that are coming out. This is the most bullet helly the game feels.
Yeah.
The charge shot, which I think does 3 damage, like the equivalent of 3 of the small ones, is good for like. It has a piercing ability, so it's good for like getting through and hitting a lot of the cannonballs to start your attack on the body.
Yeah, the charge shot actually does 5 because, like,
5,
you know those.
there you go.
Yeah, you know those little helicopter things. They take 5 normal hits to hit, and they die to 1 fireball. But yeah, that was concierge. Also, I might want to mention that those last 2 levels were probably some interesting goals because I'm now about a minute and a half ahead.
Ooh.
Oh, that is exciting.
If this run goes the way it is, I'm looking to be way underestimate, but we'll see. We still have more to go.
All right.
I'm calling a sub 2 right now. Easy.
Let's
I'm
go.
calling it easy sub 2 hour.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, that's why I don't want to talk a whole lot is all that hacking, so I'm going to go mute again.
Right.
So we picked up, so right now we have 2 notes. We have the Key of Strength that we broke the game and got early in Crags, and we now got the Key of Symbiosis from the Clockwork Concierge. Manfred will come back later and learn from him, but we still have some stuff to do. So we're heading back, and we're heading our way down now, I think to grab the teleporter for later. I'm not as familiar with the new...
Yeah, that's right. So the change in the route is that way we can get to Pyro later, is we go down and we get the Firelands portal. So that way later we can just take that portal instead of having to go through Glacial and Crags.
Rip Colos and Seusis. They were waiting for their stew to... They were waiting for a plant to grow so that they could throw it in their stew. And it took way too long.
Took slightly longer than expected.
Yeah. Pop over here, grab the portal, and then we head to our next destination. We go grab the Hope Note now. And after you grab the Hope Note, I think you'll do your next shop, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that sounds right.
A
All right.
quick revisit.
Yeah, you get to hear the awesome Autumn Hills music now in 16-bit with how it's been described to me. That sound has been described to me, and what I heard Thierry and RDE say, it's reminiscent of a deflating balloon.
Yeah.
And I love when it was described that way.
Oh, dang. Unfortunately, no blue steel. He would have been able to keep Yeet speed all the way up until right before that tree with a couple of well-timed cloud steps.
Yeah, I unfortunately ran into the top of the spike tower. I landed on top of it. I didn't take damage, but
yeah,
that sucks.
We like to yeet.
We definitely
It's
do.
fun. There's a couple of fun ones in especially in like Riviere. So we'll get to have fun with that. Riviere's a fun one.
Yeah. A couple cool ones in Music Box too.
Oh yeah, that's true. Actually, Music Box kind of our evidence to suggest I love that backup, that big K backup for getting up there. We basically skipped the entirety of the typical way to get this Hope Note. Typically, you would have to go down and go through this entire gauntlet in order to get this note. But we can just kind of jump over the exit branch and go in through the back door. Now, what we typically did was we would use the fireballs to one tile off of the end of the branch there and then hop over. But if you miss that, a good backup is with that slug right there because it jumps with you. You get it at the right height, you can clear the branch no problem.
Yeah,
it's
a
little
set up
precise.
so perfectly to get up there.
Yeah. All right, do shop, pick up some more health upgrades. We got, I believe, another health, and then we got the damage reduction. What damage reduction does is you take 1 less damage from all damage sources down to a minimum of 1. So you still take 1 damage, but spikes do 2, and that's kind of the biggest thing, right? Spikes will now do 2 damage, which gives us more damage boost options in the run.
Yeah, mainly the backdoor tabby one, because at the end of the tabby, right after you get it, there's water with spikes that you walk over normally with the tabby, but if you have the health and the damage reduction, then you can just kind of damage boost through them.
I remember the first time I saw it, I was actually verifying one of the runs, and I saw it. I said, "What is this? How I've been at 100% for so long? I love this run. This is amazing."
Quick little damage boost up there, no biggie.
So can I do the backwards DK? Reverse DK, if you will. Perfect.
A lot easier to get than the first time around.
And yet, I'm actually really bad at getting hit by those rocks.
The rocks are they're like surprisingly deceptive.
You can see a couple of neat teleports in this room. One Min might go for as he's coming back through, because you got to go through an 8-bit. Let's see. There it is. So that's a really cool showing of how the teleport really works, because the teleport did was actually moved him down, didn't actually put him on the other skeleton. So it shows that, because you can't actually go through the wall, it's not a teleport, you kind of hit it. So he hits the save point, puts him down there. Fascinating. It's a fascinating function.
Yeah, for sure. It's really cool.
So what about this maze?
So you're way better at this maze than I am. I never can remember. You're so fast at it. So typically, what you do is you go and you find the seashell that I think is hiding in Quill's room, and you will use it to kind of light your way through that maze. But it is static. It's a static path. So if you have memorized it, you don't need the seashell. It's so slow. We'll just go through the path that we know. I have seen some folks who can actually skip this cutscene by going underneath.
Yes.
I had no idea that was a thing.
Yeah, you gotta use a cool trick that was accidentally discovered by somebody called the wet afro.
I love it. So that's a really neat trick. We'll do some damage boost here to skip having to change the time. And moving through. So what Min was talking about, kind of coming through this stage, what we typically do now in this route, we use a new trick to get some extended double boosts from the lanterns to actually skip this entire section and go through the back. Min, who's claimed that he hasn't practiced it enough yet, is going to do it the traditional way, the old way. Well, we'll do it normally with a fine skip coming up in the next room after this, what we call the pee-pee skip, named after Piranha Pig. Alright, so that's first attempt. He'll reset the room. Miss the trident.
This is a tough one.
Yeah. Wow, it's falling right behind you. Oh,
Okay.
I tried to damage boost through it. Alright, he's gonna go again.
Yeah, quick little health reset. Dang, this tough trick.
Yeah.
This is what I get for practicing it.
Yeah. Fortunately, we get to listen to something.
And I did not want to press up there. What am I doing?
Oh.
Hanging out with the shopkeep for a little bit.
I say hi to Shoppy every now and again.
Yeah, unfortunately, like, used to be really, really good at this, but...
First try,
There we
there you
go.
Hey, first try.
That's what you want to see.
Good stuff.
So what that prevents is us actually going through a kind of a slow puzzle in that right room to change the time here, which then will require you to come through it and then change the time again right there so that you can continue on. PP skip, especially first try, can save you a lot of time over that. Of course, the newer strats negate that, but if you haven't learned it yet and haven't gotten that lantern jump down, which I know I haven't, I have to go learn that, then this is the route you would take.
Yeah, but you'd be coming up from the opposite direction.
Yeah, you hit that lantern right there and go up. So instead, we're going to head. There's a note here. So we're here for two reasons. We just picked up the tabbies, which is allowing Miinfin to run on the water like that, and we're also here because there's a note here. There's a note inside of the shrine, and to open it, we need to get two crests. One that represents the moon, one represents the sun. So we're gonna go pick up those crests so we can open the door.
Anybody who pays attention to this game will recognize them, by the way. Ow, I did not want to do that.
Ooh, yeah, saws are not a good time.
Yeah, Saw's doing the same amount of damage as Spikes, but because we're now here with a damage reduction, a lot less scary. But still, never like to touch him if you can avoid him.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, quick bait on these ghosts.
There you go. Got a health drop from there, so that makes this even less scary. He'll kind of boost through. See, he took the hit, but he could survive at that time. And you'll get a save point right here, so it's fine. All right. There's a lot of cool tricks that because of this route you have the damage reduction for that you feel more better for going for, like this yeet right here. You're going to see him set up for it. He took the hit, and he was willing to... There you go. Try it again anyway, you crazy...
Oh, no.
Wow.
All right, well, we can say hi to our homie in red.
Hey, Corbel. So, Corbel is a neat little beast that saves your life when you die. That's kind of the reset kind of save for when you die. So when you spend, he essentially takes shards from you in return for saving your life. You can try the yeet again. Beautiful.
Ooh, very nice.
Well, of course I get it that time.
Everything always goes better on the second time around.
Of course.
Quick little climb up. Just gotta change time, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
And then we gotta deal with... This is probably... Concierge is bad, but this is probably the most bullet hell the game gets.
This is also a room...
persistent.
It's also a room where, yeah, those trident throwers can get you. Alright, so there's the moon. Yeah. And now we just need to head to the other side and get the sun.
One thing with that is you don't actually automatically pick it up, so, you know, if you're not ready for it, because you just see the checkpoint, you can just walk right by it. Feels like that should be an auto pickup. I know Grandia said he walked by it on his first playthrough.
Now, generally, I'll say that of the two sides, I think I prefer sun over moon. I think I find myself having less difficulty on this side. Not to say that it is not hard. There's a couple of, like, this part right here where you try to take 2 damage boosts to just kind of get through the spikes faster. Yeah. Especially with the damage boost, that would be even less scary.
Yeah,
otherwise, it feels a little slow, but doesn't feel as difficult as the moon side to me.
Yeah, the biggest thing that you'll notice with any percent is that it's so hard. Like, every level that you have aside from, like, Corrupted Future, everything is just crazy hard.
The difficulty does ramp up quite a bit for especially casual players once things open up.
Yeah.
It could be, and it's notably kind of vague sometimes on what to do next for some people. So that's a climb.
Ooh, that was clean.
That rope dart climb was fast. And there's the sun.
Well, this isn't a slow run of a game.
You right. You right.
So we have the longest door opening scene in history.
Yep.
It also confirms for us as part of the run, it confirms that Ninja does in fact have a back.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, if you haven't seen his back, watch closely.
Also, minus, granted, I know the game's not due out for a while, but what do you think the over-under is that this shrine is in Dakari Village? Because there's a door that's eerily similar to this at the back of Dakari Village.
I'm feeling pretty likely. Yeah,
Cannot wait for that.
I think it's in your favor. Yeah, referring to the new game that Sabotage Studios, the developer of the Messenger, they're coming out with their new game, Sea of Stars, in 2022, and it happens many years before this game. This particular level references it heavily. So, for those interested in the actual lore of the game, the side lore of it, everything that's going on it, the new game expands on even more, and I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, anything by Sabotage is going to be a good time.
Yeah, quality.
Yeah, so we're not going to be taking the portal back to the hub. We're going to be going through the half of Grotto, I want to say, to say hi to Bamboo Creek again.
That's right. We're gonna head back teleport. Oh, beautiful!
Nice.
And that's a really cool one because it actually does get you up and over to the skeleton. That's a nice one to hit, and it's usually pretty free because they're already set up just right. So if you get the inputs off just right, then you'll get that teleport just about every time. Yeah. We're heading back to Bamboo Creek to pick up Bamboo Boy, the original Bamboo Boy itself. We're gonna Claustro.
Yeah, the second of 4 Phobikins.
Right. We're going to need those Phobikins later because we have to go back to Forlorn to grab an item. And the only way to get in there in this category is to go through the front door. So we need that bridge built.
Yep. No windmill shurikens to help us make it over the gap.
Doing a little boost there. He's going to do a neat little hop here.
Oop.
Kind of get over that. It makes it feel like it was put there to prevent you from coming back up, but also not.
Yeah, it's a really awkward jump to get those.
Yeah.
Oh, is that cheats? Is that out of bounds? Did he clip into that block?
No, that's not cheats in this particular case. So, ban him. Shut off the run. Shut it off. So we are doing a no out of bounds run, which specifically specifies that we're not going to be clipping through or going through any static boundaries. The exceptions of that include non-static breakable boundaries. So the fact that we can typically go through that doesn't change the way that the game was intended to be run. So accidentally clipping and going into that box is not a problem, and we use that to break it early. You can do it a bit slower by breaking it on the outside and skipping the whole place anyway. And if you just clip through and run it, you have to break it on the way back out. So I mean, those boxes are getting broken either way.
Yeah.
We just kind of use it. So in this particular case, it's not very similar to when you go. And in fact, in Bamboo, when you go over the trees and kind of hanging out up above the menu, as you move over, also not out of bounds.
Little shuriken assist to help with that platform.
Yeah, that's a neat way to do it. I like that. All right, reverse into. Let's see if he's ready for it. There's the important hop.
Nice. And then again, no tower time hub yet because we get to go back to Catacombs.
That's right. Oh, I have a command for this. So
a bit of help from Ruxton to help us go do Cloud Ruins again later, but most importantly, we're going to be going back to Catacombs as well to head off to Riviere because we need a Firefly.
That's right. I have so y'all heard the song if y'all were here before, or for the Bamboo song. I actually have a command for Umab for when you go back through it backwards.
Oh.
So let me see if I can find it here. So for those who want to know the lyrics to the song entirely backwards, there you go. Post it in chat. And that's Umab.
Perfect. Love it.
That's what happens when you get bored sometimes. We come to the ending here, so we got Claustro, and now we're heading back a little bit further. There's a bunch of stuff to do on the way backwards. So we're also going to stop in here and say hi to Ruxton. We haven't seen him in a while. Head to the future and check him out.
Yeah, I wonder how he's doing. Oh, he's dead.
Yeah, oh, he's dead.
Okay.
Well, I guess that makes sense. It's been a while.
Have some chat for Ruxton.
Have some chat.
I guess 500 years will do that to someone.
What is it? Is it Golem Thump? I'm going to do that.
Yeah, we get to see a good section of Catacombs in 16-bit, which is very cool.
Right. This is where we kind of get into newer territory. We went through a bunch of revisits to pick up some items. We got Ruxton's Amulet, so we can go into Cloud Ruins again later, which we will need for a Phobikin. But we're going to go because we need to get into Riviere. And the only way to get to Riviere is through the Dark Cave. Honestly, one of my favorite parts of this run, one of the biggest reasons I love this run, is a small section of it called Dark Cave, where you typically have to go through a long quest chain to get the it's like an item of true sight.
The power of true sight.
There it is. So that you can see through the dark cave. But again, kind of similar to the maze, if you know what it looks like and you've practiced it enough, you don't really need to see anything to make it through. So a bunch of the runners will train and learn where things are in the dark cave so that you can just get through it blind, essentially. And you're going to get to see that, and it is so satisfying.
Oh yeah. Dark Cave is super cool to watch. I would never want to try it though.
Oh, it's so much fun. I actually not too long ago made a tutorial for it because I just loved it so much. So for people who want to learn and kind of get an idea of how they can route through, I have a simple route that I do through Dark Cave. So we're going to come through this water here you couldn't get through to before, drop down, and after a few more drops here, head into Dark Cave. I'll kind of narrate through what he's looking for. As soon as he goes in, the first thing he has to do is fall to the left. There's going to be a small part there where there's a hook that you can latch onto, hop up, and then he's going to drop down. There's a rope dart hook to do there. There's a drop here, and then he's going to float up. There's actually 2 rows of spikes around the side he's trying not to hit. There's a second float right here. You can actually see the rocks at the bottom that that signify that. Now he's hitting and rope darting onto the ground. That there is none of, so he died. So that last section that he's doing there's actually lanterns kind of placed throughout that he's trying to rope dart onto. And I think he had missed one of the higher ones, and after that it's kind of hard to recover. But he's going to come right through again. Those are some of the spikes that he hit. Float back up again. So he's going to be on the top part. There is, he went too far. And it's kind of hard to tell, but you kind of get a grasp for it. He went a little too far to the left, so his rope dart missed the lantern that was there. So drop down again, rope dart, drop, float up between the spikes. And he's going to drop down again, float up again onto the second platform. And as he's coming to the edge of it, he's going to rope dart. And then he's going to rope dart. Let's see, how does he do it?
Oh, dang.
See, I did mine a little different, but I'm missing a platform that's right there after that time change.
Yeah, there's a couple of, there's other ways to do the room. And at that part, there's a couple of platforms that you can jump on as you move toward through that side of the room. That part that he's on is the trickiest part of Dark Cave, easily. Once he jumps right here, it's just Death Pit with this one land right here. So we got that platform, and there you go.
There we go.
So now he's gonna drop down and bounce.
This is one of those this never happens moments in a marathon.
And so now he drops down to the third drop and then climbs up this wall. He's going to climb up and throw the shuriken. That's going to hit the switch, which he's going to have a fun race with, even though you don't have to race it. Drop back down and head over to the left, and then wait for this door to open, and we're done. There's Dark Cave.
Riviere casually was one of my favorite areas in the entire game.
Riviere is very cool.
It does such a good job of like with the soundtrack displaying like the ruined version versus like the saved version. Because once you get 16-bit, it's all lush and pretty, and the song is a lot like more pleasant.
Yeah,
it's so cool.
Very much so. So there was a teleporter up there that you saw Min kind of jump over. We don't need it. We're never going to come back here. So we don't care to get it, and so you can save a little bit of time by just you can get over the trigger for it. It's not that big, so you'll see some folks do it. Okay, so I want to see this. You get to come through here with some damage reduction.
Nice.
Some people will hit that flower and go through, but you can just damage boost through it.
Yeah, that's a big benefit of going to the backdoor tabby route. Strats like that are not nearly as scary, but still impressive to see.
I really like it. I can't wait to pick it up when I do it again. The water here, it's important to note, that is a kill zone. You may have tabbies, but they ain't strong enough for that fast water. Yeah. So
not the good kind of water.
I believe there's also a teleport in this room, although I've never attempted it.
Actually, there's a cool double. You can get one off of the first Kappa, and then one of the the green teeth guys. I don't know what they're actually called.
Here we go. Another one of my least favorite rooms. Long
Yes.
pit rooms. Easily some of my least favorite. This one has a couple sections of falling logs and enemies to kind of get through. It's just long pits, and those logs eat your rope dart input. Not the input, but they eat the rope dart. So if your rope dart hits it, you'll fly over to it, and then just kind of, you're dead.
Now, I hear
How
you all
much you
like
can do.
yeets.
Oh, yeah, okay, so here's
we
the
like
yeet we've
yeet.
all been talking about. The Riviera yeet, one of our favorites.
Alright.
Hops over the checkpoint and yeets all the way across this long room.
No! I messed it up.
Oh,
Depending on how that yeet goes, you can actually bring the speed all the way into this room and fly across that left wall over there.
And I don't know this very well with the
There you go.
projectile. Oh,
And yeah, so if you don't, you can use the projectile to get up there, or just get over to the left. Yeah.
yeah, that's a really fun little stretch of Riviera there.
So start climbing up and then going through a little spike area right here.
Aw,
yeah,
Nice little bat health.
yeah. My yeet normally takes me right up here if it's done right.
It's really nice. So we'll be coming through. Killing a lot of bats right now, man. I feel like if you keep killing bats like that, you're gonna regret it.
Nah.
Yeah, you'll probably be fine.
So we're coming into the next section, kind of the puzzly section, where we're gonna do as little puzzling as possible.
Who needs puzzles?
Who needs puzzles when you got platforming?
Yeah, we just got flower boosts. That's all we need.
Yeah, they gave us all these puzzles and also give us cloud step. So here's a puzzle that you, as Poopa would say, just do it. Just do the
Yeah.
puzzle. It's not. There's really not much skipping it. Although, I think with the, I can't remember with the damage reduction. No, it's the long pit. Never mind.
Yeah.
So you'll do that so that you can get across that long gap that there really isn't much of a solution for otherwise.
Yeah,
Hop up
unfortunately
there.
not. It's not
And we-
walkable water.
We're coming to the last section now.
Get another fun little strat here. See how it goes.
Gonna pull these two birds over, hit one of them, change the time, hit the other one, and just like that, skipped most of the puzzle.
The biggest thing I've seen go wrong with that is missing the time switch thing, and you're stuck in the wrong time. It's like, well,
Yeah.
what do I do now?
There's a couple of good backups for it, but that obviously is the way you want it to go first try.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Coming
It's a lot more
into-
difficult than Min made it look there.
It is pretty tough. Coming into the Riviera boss, I affectionately refer to as Moth the Bat or
The Batterfly.
the Batterfly. Thank you.
Batterfly.
So this bat will change the time on you, and also has an ability that reverses your controls right there. So his controls are currently reversed, and he's still having to make his way up there. So so there's a neat strat you can do in this boss fight where you can actually continue damaging the boss while off screen. Wasn't able to get it in the first stage, going to go for it in the second one, making his way up. Getting all the damage and shurikens off now. Gonna float up with him here. And got it. Nice. That was really
I
close.
have no idea how I hit the matriarch off the screen like that. I thought I missed it.
I did too, because I saw you on screen a little too long. But
Ugh.
yeah, you made it. Well done. And
Now-
so now, if anyone was paying attention, this would be our... Watch your step.
Oh. Jeez, what
This
did
would
you
be
do
our
that for?
first intentional death of the run in order to get us back to the checkpoint quickly.
It also might be worth noting that even with that, that was still a gold Batterfly fight. Come on. I'm not
Well,
pressing up. I don't know how that
More
happened.
upgrades.
all right, now that we're done with that, where are we going? What do you think?
I forget.
You want to do
this
it
is-
next?
This is where we go back to Underworld.
All right, so that's what we're gonna do. We got a couple things. So we got the Firefly from the Matriarch, and we're gonna use that for another note later. But for now, we're gonna pick up Pyro, our third buddy, hanging out here, getting stuck next to lava, and then we're gonna head back down into the underworld to pick up another note. We need the note of Chaos. We're gonna go pick that up out of Underworld. Kind of a nice split. It's pretty short, and it's fun. The only lame part is probably the last little gauntlet. You'll see, a little too much Fanta for our liking.
Yeah, and the one tile on the saw, or the saw boost, whichever you want to call it.
I've seen people doing that more and more, and
I am not one of them.
Yeah, I've only gotten it once in practice with a trainer on.
Yeah,
I've seen people getting it more with like pause buffering. That is not something I've practiced yet.
Oh, okay.
Same.
I actually managed to get the one tile on my casual playthrough
That's awesome.
without even knowing.
Oh! Oh, my heart!
I have no idea what just happened.
So, something to note about the tabbies. Which, honestly, that's not too bad of a death. It was
No,
just,
but still.
half a room away. So, an interesting note about the tabbies is you can run on lava. Really neat. The two caveats to that is that you can't. I don't think you can change direction quickly, but you can't stop.
You cannot change direction and you can't stop.
Yeah, so you cannot stop moving. If you stop moving, you will immediately sink. What may have happened there? Oh, he's so fast. What may have happened there was he had a frame to. So close.
I had a heart attack.
Because the checkpoint's right there.
Yeah.
But when he hit when he hit his knee on that knocker there, he had a frame or two where he was still on the lava, and that was long enough to sink him.
Yeah.
This Fanta moves a little too flowy, a little too spicy for our tabbies, so
Weighty.
we have to stay out of there.
There is technically a teleport in here, but it's just really, really, really hard to pull off.
Long rooms with death planes below make runners, I think, generally nervous in general. I said general, but you get the point.
Yeah.
Another scary thing about the room is there's a lot of platforms that can eat your rope darts.
Yes.
Yeah, and also, as Grant actually helped us look into more closely, they can eat your jumps. Just straight up.
That's right, yeah.
They can eat your jumps, depending on how you're floating down and when you push that jump in, put again to buffer it. Depending on how close you are, it'll just eat it, and you'll just walk right into the lava, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yep, always fun. So yeah, just a quick underworld visit. And now, I believe we're going to Cloud Ruins again.
Mm-hmm.
Cloud Ruins, second time around, is super cool.
In my mind, I kind of break up the any % run after, so we have the 8-bit part and then linear, and then when you get into 8-bit, I kind of split it into sections where you have like the first half kind of gathering items and opening up spots, collecting things, and then the second half, which I think of the more like difficult half, where you start going to the levels where you want to have some of those upgrades and they're a lot more challenging. This is kind of the start of it for me. Going back into Cloud Ruins, it's a pretty challenging level in a lot of ways. And especially when you try strats like that and make me lose sleep.
Yeah, already starting off with some
here's another one.
crusher cycles.
Yep, there's another one right there. That has a required damage boost to get. But coming through here, and especially with this setup, you're going to have the damage reduction, so it makes this place a lot less scary. But it gets there. It'll be this one, Forlorn, and then Music Box.
Yeah.
Are the tough levels that are coming up. Picking up some more money here.
We need money.
Remind me, Min, with this new setup, this new run, are there any upgrades you're still looking for?
The only one I have left is the one that when you're on a checkpoint, you get the shuriken refill and the 5 health. So I need 550 for that, and that's it.
Okay.
I should have that by the end of this one.
That's a nice upgrade to get if you can. It's a really nice safety. Some folks like to have it when coming into Cloud Ruins. As the run gets shorter, you can imagine it gets more and more difficult to actually get those time shards. And some people will just opt out of it to save on time. But having it here, and especially in the
Music.
well, you also like it in Forlorn, but Music Box. Music Box is a great spot for it. Because we actually have quite, at least for me, a lot of use of shurikens.
Yeah.
And I like
a lot
to
of
get
long
them
range
back.
throws. Nice little yeet plus cloud step action there through the gaps.
It's really neat. That it kind of when you have that the motion, the forward momentum actually follows through.
Yeah.
All right, so here's a nice spot. He's coming in here with full health. You're going to see a lot of damage boost to get through here. Trying to be careful that you actually can be crushed by these things. So he's making precise movements to take the damage boosts, but not get crushed.
Yeah, similar to any of these spike platforms, or any platforms rather, that are moving back and forth, they can crush you and really catch you off guard.
Min's got the 550 now, so at this point I don't think he's going to care about picking up any time shards that he doesn't need.
Yeah. Even if not, there's 2 crystals that you can get that are, you know, pretty out of the way at the end of Cloud Room. So
that's true.
They do
those crystals are heavily used in the 100% run to get all the upgrades. You'll see a farming session with those 2 crystals.
Oh, she was over the rope dart.
Yep, I hate this room. Sometimes those ghosts will just... They're super heavy on your positioning, so if it reacts to your positioning being a little bit higher, like in that hop there... Oh, good teleport. Then they'll just be out where you don't expect them to be. Otherwise, they should be fairly scripted with you coming in.
I hear you like lanterns and walls too.
Oh yeah, there's actually a lantern inside that wall. Nice teleport. There's another one coming up too.
Oh yeah, right here.
There's actually
I see you.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, a lot of cool teleports in Cloud Runs.
Yeah.
First time and second time around.
Mm-hmm.
Birds stuck.
They do. Wonderfully done. This room can look pretty good too. I've actually seen a route through here where you can use some of the iframes from the rope dart to go through that ball there.
These things are fast, so we like to take them.
Mm-hmm. Just hang on there. Kind of go through this wind tunnel. I can't remember if there was a teleport off those.
It's the second one. It's just hard.
Yeah, you kind of have to like pause for a second to set it up. But definitely tricky.
Come back through the car wash one more time. You'll probably pull that drip down. There it is.
Yeah, drippy ghost.
Working at the car wash. Alright, so do the drop down through here. Of course, we don't have the Manfred runs anymore. Instead, because Manfred wasn't. Oh, that was another teleport.
There is one there. I was a little early. There's also one here that Black found.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Oh, nice. This particular room was notoriously difficult, especially for casual runners. Having to understand and use like double lantern jumps and stuff like that. Something that you didn't rely on too heavily before. Second, intended death for the run right there, just to get us back to the shop. Picks up the final upgrade of the run. As they were saying before, this upgrade improves the healing at shops. So shops used to heal you up to 3 health, and now they heal you up to 5 health and restore your shurikens. That's going to make the final levels a little less stressful.
Yeah. So now we go back through Autumn to make our way to Forlorn Temple. This is a hard level.
Yeah, we like to joke a lot, especially because 8-bit and linear are very popular runs to have just due to their length, and the any% for this still trending near the hour-and-a-half, 2-hour route length. So the joke is typically, Forlorn being a difficult stage that you don't see, but any% you do, and you see all of it, just about. Yeah. It's a challenging spot that brings in functionality that you don't see anywhere else. Plus, Wizrobes for some reason. Let's throw them in there too. It's just a mean level.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and the boss fight, while it's not difficult to beat, it can be pretty trolly to optimize.
Yeah. It's honestly a lot of fun to practice and a lot of the stuff that you can do, but you're right, it takes a lot of practice and can be difficult to optimize.
Yeah.
Getting it's really satisfying, but it's hard. It's hard. All right, so coming through here. We're gonna do that that climb we loved so very much in the first one. You get to do that climb again, but in the next round. So it's really just cool to see these levels again as a revisit, a new time. Oh, hang on. Here's the tough boss right here. It's the Leaf Golem revisit. Got it. Good job. So. Yeah, so those dropping leaf things are actually perfectly spaced. So if you continue running as fast as you can through that room, that leaf will hit you in the head.
It's about as difficult to make it through the second time as it is the first time.
That's right. All right. Also, something that you don't get to hear enough, but when you come into Forlorn, yeah, that music. I just love that. Kind of that breakdown it does. But we'll come through here. You're gonna see, yeah, that little like almost leap of faithy kind of drop. It kind of just shows you what you're in for in this stage. Like that. So these crushers in the switches form. There's a mechanic for you there. And also, do you see how close those crushers are? Like you're intended to get that close. It's just brutal. Here's some Wizrobes for you. We're gonna throw a shuriken through time. Just to speed it up. Wizrobe spawning right above the rocket.
Come on.
Because
Wiz trolls.
Yeah, absolutely. Rockets, a new functionality that, as far as I can remember, you won't see anywhere else. Just here. And why not? I guess it's kind of neat. But you'll hop on it and you can control it left or right, like which direction it goes. So we'll be using that quite a lot here. Coming into the next phase of the stage, nice little jump there. Can kind of skip a cycle.
It's pretty tricky when I get through.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where they get really trolly sometimes.
Yeah. Remember, they can spawn just about anywhere inside of this room. Even on the path going down, right? Like, and so you have to stop and hit them. There's a neat crusher cycle skip here that I'm not going to set up.
That is just too hard.
It's incredibly tricky and really scary, but you can actually get it to not have to sit in that middle for a second. We'll come through and make it to the next area. This will show another kind of room where you can actually use shurikens to... I'll use shurikens sometimes on that lever to kind of space out things that are happening, so you can like throw it and then jump through as it's opening. There's a couple of rooms like that you can do. The next room after this one is another one you can do it on.
Yeah.
But you can see we have extensive use of shurikens, so having that upgrade to get them back from a save point is helpful. Not that it's required or necessary, it's just helpful to have.
Yeah, sure. Cuts out a little bit of time. And in a run this long, a bunch of little time saves can be
That's so
very
true.
big.
We'll see how he does this room here.
Yeah, the leash.
There it is. Oh, gorgeous!
Ooh.
I love that. Even with the mess up there, still got it. That's how you can make a room like that just look beautiful.
Yeah, just catching that swing cycle to perfectly line up with the shuriken throw. Although it can look kind of funny being clotheslined right into the spikes.
Yeah. Here's I like to think of this as the time waster room V2. It's just let's just do rockets 3 times.
Yeah. Unfortunately, no crystal to slash through a wall to speed it up.
That's right. So on to the next segment. Couple of challenge rooms. Mostly it's just some descents as we go to the boss of the stage. We're here because the Demon King, that like 3-headed demon monster thing, is kind of in our way now. It clearly is, you know, a problem for us and someone that we need to deal with, but he has the crown that he wears is an item that we need in order to get to another level. So it's now time where we feel we're up to the task of coming in and dealing with him. That's some nice drops.
For that drop, for that.
Yeah, that was a nice sweet drop. Now,
time over.
Here pretty soon we're gonna have like the ultimate Monka S room.
Ah, yes.
Oh,
the Monka S room coming up right here. it is kind of casually. It was just one of those stages you're like, or one of those rooms you're like,
What?
Why?
Yeah.
So here it is right here.
Into the room and then damage boost.
Yeah, it's just saw blades. You start to question like, am I just supposed to damage boost? Well, with all those lanterns having health in it, I think so.
Very nice.
Very clean. Also, you're supposed to fall down and rocket back up here, but there's bats.
Who needs a
so
rocket?
why not?
Yeah, thank you, Bats.
Alright. Now the fun demon fight.
Yeah, this fight can get out of hand fast if you let it, but it's also really fun. Oh, it's 4 heads.
Yep. Forehead.
Yeah.
Let's.
All right, so
Okay. Ooh.
so he'll hop on. So you can actually get cloud steps off those fireballs and climb up with them to continuously damage. It is difficult. The timing and everything can be really challenging, and you'll get a lot of your damage as you're falling down with the boss. And then we'll see Min try to do it again.
Yeah, because as you're going up, he's going up as well, so you have to go up even faster than he goes up.
Oh, good catch.
Yeah, I messed up the fall because I try to get it when I'm still in the air, so that way I can like do a 1.5 cycle almost.
But he should finish the cycle on the fall here, I think.
Yep.
Yep.
Nice.
There it was. You can hear the sound.
Yeah, no more damage. You're getting no more damage.
So that's mostly the fight. Everything after this is I won't say scripted. It's random where everything kind of gets placed. But there's really not much you can do to speed it up at this point. This fight is just going to happen. He's going to do a couple of attacks. Then the rocket's going to come out. Then you're going to fly up for a little bit, dodging attacks until
You're gonna play
the
dodgeball.
fight's over. It takes about 90 seconds, I think, about 1.5 minutes from the moment the transition starts to when you get the crown.
Also,
there's a fun soft lock you can have happen where if a rocket from the previous phase is there on the ground and you jump on it, the game just like dies.
it is worth noting that a previous run by Piranha Pig had him get hit during this phase by a laser. You do fall all the way down, and you have to repeat that bottom phase and this top phase.
Oh.
Yeah, it's typically. I mean,
It's typically not fun.
The only thing worse would be a death, right? At that
Yeah,
point.
pretty much.
Yeah. And then of course the Demon King's one true weakness, sun. And then we get to wait for the crown to fall all the way down to the bottom.
Yes, one of the longest boss cutscenes there is.
He just stare at the crown like he can fall now. All the way down. And then float, float, float. There we go. All right. Good. Now we can continue on. We get to go back into the Tower of Time and head to grab the final note that we need, which is the note of courage that's hiding in the corrupted future. This time we just remember to go right coming out of the door, something that we only ever do once, which is to go into this portal right here.
We get to hide to one of the best characters in the game, the Artificer.
Oh yeah,
He's awesome.
he is.
And this is the reason we need the fairy from earlier, because we like to skip things, but unfortunately we cannot skip the level without the fairy.
Yeah, looking into it, all the fairies, especially the fairy at the very beginning right there, it straight up will not spawn if you do not have that fairy with you.
Otherwise, I'm pretty sure we would just find a way to just skip Riviera entirely.
Yeah, there hasn't been an official way we found to get through this stage that isn't out of bounds. So for no out of bounds, you got to do it.
Yep, unfortunately.
I'm just missing all of my rope darts here.
Rope dart's overrated.
But also, I'll say, I mean, this but you still have the note that you're collecting. So it just pops over and gets it, and then you leave after the cutscene of the monster showing up. There you go. So it should be coming back now. So we're going into the final stage of the game now. We're doing the hardest cutscene skip right there. There you go.
Yeah. Always that satisfying moment of watching all 6 notes go in at the same time. Or like all at once, rather.
Music box.
Oh boy.
Such a fascinating stage.
Oh
It is.
boy.
It's hard, but it's so interesting. It is unique in that it is based entirely around the music in which it plays, which is such a beautiful concept, I think, from a design standpoint. But all the traps and everything that's moving is based solely around the kind of the cadence of the music that is playing. Which, funny enough, we actually used that very idea and concept to make a couple rooms faster going forward. You'll see it done a couple of times.
Yeah, there's one big skip that you use that has a timing where you walk in. I believe it's right after one of the 2 and 4 beats.
Yeah.
And it saves like 14 seconds, but it's an absurd skip.
You're talking about the Rhythm Bird?
Yeah, Rhythm Bird.
No.
Not gonna happen.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. Please don't. So there's so much you can do to manipulate the way the game works. Even from like, I don't know if you've seen it, some of like the pause buffering or map buffering that you can do on certain beats actually makes all the traps pause and freeze. I think it's actually used in the run now for this room in particular. I think I've seen Grand use it to actually time when, so that you can actually skip that cycle there. So
Yeah,
I hadn't actually seen a use for it other than it's just really cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he incorporated it into his runs, but I know he uploaded a clip of that room where he did it.
You can also manipulate gravity itself because the gravity also kind of ticks off of this timing. So when you do that same pause buffering, if you do it while running off of a crusher or something that's opening and closing horizontally, you could run off the crusher, and if you keep doing it on that beat, the gravity will never kick in, so you can just keep running back and forth on midair.
Oh, that's cool.
It's really neat, and unfortunately has no use.
Yeah, here's the room with the crazy strat with that.
Yeah, and I don't know Rhythm Bird, and I was off on the beat, so I couldn't do a little shortcut to grab onto the second pillar too quick. Otherwise, I'd have fallen and died.
Okay, this room's scary.
This room is another one of my least favorite. Long pit, of course, but also kind of tight jumps. A death really costly there. That room takes forever to get through.
Yeah, the checkpoint right after, of course.
And now we're coming through to, I think it's going to be the first like music reset. Oh, kind of touching the spikes up there for
that was a first.
All right, so he's popping into the shop in order to reset the music. So now all the traps have stopped, allowing us to get through this section much faster and consistently. You kind of pick up on the fact that it does that, especially if you're like me and you die a bunch in your casual playthrough. And then when you start it back up again, you see that the trap still kind of sits still for a bit. So we've learned to manipulate that. All right, so it's gonna come around.
A couple of crystal puzzles to deal with.
Yep, another backward slash there. That's good to see.
Not really sure the point of that last crystal, because it's right next to the gate it opens.
Oh, so close.
Oh.
Still a
Pretty
very
nice
good yeet. Yeah. A fun room. So kind of a little side note while we're coming through some of these rooms. I was actually doing a bit of research on it when we were doing some randomizer development, and it's possible to do these rooms without rope dart.
This room is stupid.
Yes. We were trying to see how possible it is to beat the game without the major upgrades. Okay. And I don't think you would probably need one or the other in that room. But yeah, it is totally possible to get that
Ugh.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you not like that cycle
room.
skip?
You gotta warn us when you're doing stuff like that.
Speaking of cycles, check out this room.
Oh, this is an important one.
Hop up there. Swing over. If you get this right, you can catch the. Oh no!
Dang.
He just missed the elevator right there. But if he jumped up there, he could have made the elevator as it was rising up. So now he's got to wait for it to come back down and do it again.
That was so close too.
Yeah, that's stupid Kappa.
So yeah, just a gauntlet of a level.
We always appreciate rooms like this when there's not much going on.
Cool.
Play that a little safe right there. Because that just scared the crap out of me.
There's a nice positioning trick you can do here to get that. Some people use the crystal there that's in the background. Some people use just the platform off to the right. Whatever works. Ooh, I'm really bad at that one tile.
That looks awkward.
Throw 2 shurikens there. This is a good reason, like keeping your shuriken counts high here, because we like to use a lot for those. This right here was proof to us that yeeting was totally an intended mechanic of the game.
Yeah, there are a couple of nice ones in there. They threw a lot in the Picnic Panic DLC. There are so many yeets in there.
Mm-hmm. All right, so here's the last shop reset.
I almost forgot to do the shop reset.
You almost proved me wrong. You almost proved me wrong. Well, or not. But we do that to speed up that first room part, which kind of sets up this and the other rooms depending on how fast you get through it. Because you can kind of time this room, which is a great beat to come in on. There you go.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that Crusher really likes, or not Crusher, but that thing really likes to push you down into the spikes there.
Yeah, so when you come in on an offbeat like that, it gives you another second of no trap movement, which is plenty of time to get through there without being bothered.
Oh, that's a stupid jump at the end of that room.
Oh my! Oh,
are you kidding me?
What was that?
That was a crush, but that was the most BS crush I think I've ever seen. So the platform moved, and the crusher was in the way at such a spot where the game realized, yeah, you're crushed. So that was the worst.
Oops.
Oh my goodness. What a crush.
The game just outskilled you there, I guess. Or
yeah.
It
just...
the game served me a crushing defeat is what happened.
Ah.
Oh my goodness. And that's not, any kind of new for the game. There are plenty of other opportunities like that where you can just see crushes that either just don't make sense or just like, oh, come on, that's a crush too. We were talking a bit before about some of the moving things in Cloud Ruins that can crush you if they push you into a wall.
Right.
And a couple of other ones. But here's an exciting note.
Run's almost over.
Really. We're done with the music box.
Yeah, always good to see this last stretch, because that means no more heart attack.
Yep. So we're coming into the final boss. There's going to be this boss fight, and then we're going to do a thing, and then it's going to be time. So we're coming up on time in the next couple of minutes. The Phantom boss fight, not after this fight. There'll be a section after this. The Phantom boss fight is pretty fun and typically scripted if you can get some of the attacks and stuff off. So missing that first attack will get out the 2 little pig noses there. Every time I fight this boss, it makes me want to play Tomba again. And so try to get a bunch of hits on him. Ooh, neat. That would have been kind of cool.
Oh,
you ever tried to turtle boost a projectile before? I guess it pulls it right into you. Alright, so that's the kind of the phase 2 pig noses. So now there's 3 of them. Let's see. Now we're doing here's the copies. Trying to get
Which
damage
one is
on
the
them.
real one?
I can't tell. Oh, found it. Good job. It is possible to teleport. Oh my god.
Where's the mask? There's the mask.
Here you go. So you
Where
get
it
to
should
you
be,
actually get to see this strat, which is cool. This is one of the greatest like show-offs of the iframes from the rope dart. Just sit in the lasers. The iframes never really let up as long as you keep your cadence up with the rope dart attacks. You just keep wailing on them. And
There
there's
we
the
go.
boss.
That was one of the trolliest
Yeah.
phantoms I've had.
Yeah. It really is. Okay, so we're coming into the final part of it right now. Everyone's going to get together. We're going to do the thing.
Do the thing.
And then the time is going to be called when the mask shatters. So everyone do the thing.
Get your A's in chat.
Yeah, we need to give them all the power we can.
Yeah,
There's
okay.
Monk, so she
You
did
got a
get saved by
Kamehameha.
someone.
Woo! We doing the thing.
Aggressive mashing commences.
Get ready to do the thing.
Ah,
And there's the mashes.
Not done yet.
And one more. And time.
Time. 2 hours,
Well
21
done.
seconds.
Well done.
Good stuff.
Still
Good
well
stuff.
underestimate.
Oh, yeah. That death in Music Box was just like, what?
Like what? I know that
Oh.
would have been a sub 2 hour otherwise. So where did that put you?
What do you mean?
I know you had a lot of time loss as far as your PB goes. I know you had a lot of time
Oh,
loss in
that's-
Corrupted Future.
Honestly, if I had gotten Corrupted Future, I probably would have PB, because that was a 30-second loss there if I didn't die here, and if I didn't die in, Dark Cave, because my PB is a 159.41. So,
Yeah, but GG's, man. That's
Yeah,
always
30 seconds.
it's always a run to do.
oh yeah.
You know, 2 hours later, we did the thing, and we had a
Yeah.
great time with it.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
really good stuff all around.
The only thing y'all didn't see from the Corrupted Future when the feed was lost was the note grab was missed about 3 or 4 times. It was undershot, and so Min almost went into the water without the note about 4 times.
Yeah.
But on the fifth time he got the grab, and we were good. So that
That
about
was
30 seconds.
definitely, like Dark Cave, that was definitely one of those, this never happens, quote-unquote, marathon moments.
Yeah.
Because it really doesn't usually ever happen. I usually get that first try. At least I didn't collect it and
yes.
not die.
Deaths. So if you had gone just like a little bit too much further and died, that's like another 2 minutes or so right there that you have to make up, because you go
Yep.
all the way back to the beginning, but you didn't get the note, so you have to go all the way through it again.
Yeah.
Makes you want to vomit.
That's got to be the most costly death in the entire run, right?
No, I think the Manfred fight is probably a little costlier.
I'd say so, depending on where you die in the fight.
Yeah.
That
True.
one could be really bad.
However, Corrupted Future is probably the costliest non-death to ever take. Because if you don't die taking that note, then
That's true too. I forget how long that run is.
there's something that I never take going on. I don't remember the last time I did the race outside of the casual playthrough.
Yeah, I always just go for the death in my NG Plus playthroughs because I know I'll die way more times doing the chase than I ever would with the.
Oh, absolutely. Well, if I remember right, that was actually an accidental glitch found by people doing their casual playthroughs, and not even discovered by a speedrunner. If I remember
Yeah,
right.
that was one of those, and they decided not to fix it. You know, it's just no, it's fine. If that happens to people, it happens to people.
Yeah. Well, I know we got some other stuff coming up, so I'm going to pass it on to Mr. Dino. I believe we have Lock Slime coming up. I don't know his thing because I don't have it up, but I'm sure he's got his stuff coming up pretty soon, and we'll toss it over to him. So thanks for having us, guys.
Yeah, thank you so
Hope
much.
y'all enjoyed
Y'all
the
have a
full
great
run.
rest of the marathon. Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for watching.